Right then, good afternoon ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to the PGS Esports Realistic for the second round of the season. 15 rounds, of course, for the full entire season. We've only had one so far, the second round now, 13 to go. It is a long, long season, as we always do, but always quite a fun one, of course, here at PGS. On the realistic tier, as 14 drivers joining us tonight, not entirely sure if every single driver here was here last week, but I can see a few new people here, with the likes of Deckers, who of course has been racing in every single one of my leagues I commentate in recently, and here the man is, back again in another one of my leagues. It is good to see him, and 9-day streak in the stream too. We've got, who have we got? Lee Dog, I believe. I'm quiet, turn the game down more. Okay, hang on a minute. Oh, that's completely my bad. Sorry, that should be a bit better. I had the game turned right up because I was playing earlier on. Thanks for telling me that. I would have gone the whole stream with a completely loud game and you barely been able to hear me. Anyway, hopefully you can hear me a bit better now then. Wow, totally forgot about that. It's perfect now. There we go. I appreciate that, mate. Thanks for being in the stream. And welcome back, Jack, of course, supporting your brother of Deckers here in PGS Esports Realistic. And we'll see how Deckers gets on this evening. Lee Dog as well, who I believe is a new driver. Yes, I've just remembered now. It's just come to mind. Lee Dog, of course, brand new here in PGS Esports, and the man that many people were quite worried about because he's absolutely rapid, and he was very quick last race as well. But I think got stopped in his tracks at some point along the way. I'm going to go into the PGS post-race results. So yeah, round one then. Was won by Jay Pinto, of course. Yes, I remember now. Lee Dog took second place. Wasn't able to snatch that at the end. We'll see if Jay Pinto can do anything, you know, about that today. Maybe increase his championship chances early on in the season, as he is back again, joining us for the second round of the season. You know, yet again, Lee Dog here again too, and maybe he's got something in store for us in this qualifying session. I mention it every stream, qualifying pace and race pace, completely different things. And at first, I didn't know if Lee Dog was just quick in qualifying, not as much in the race, but I think he's got it in both of them areas at this moment in time, especially the first round, showing that he did get a bit unlucky in the final few laps, and Jay Pinto, you know, just with some amazing class in that racing, he managed to go and take the win. But the Kickstarter of Lee Dog today, is it his day to shine? Is it his time to shine? Can he do it? Can he win the first round of the season? Can he win his first race? My bad, completely messed my words up there. You know, of this season. We'll find out about that. Jack in the chat, 4-day streak, love to see it. You're sticking around as well, but Lee Dog is quickest in the middle sector. We'll see if he can put a decent time on the board. His first lap, his banker lap today. Shaggy with a 1:34.280, and he sets the first time of the afternoon. Let me know if game sound can still be heard, because I can see it's quite low. Papa Rim, 1:34.272, only literally 0.08 of a second faster. Sorry, 0.08 of a second faster than Shaggy on time. And Papa Rim currently the quickest man on the grid. Shaggy then second place. Luke Bailey slots into third in the early stages of qualifying. Mbuk into 4. We've got Lee Dog then, of course, as we know it, a whole second quicker than the rest of the drivers on his banker lap, with a 1:33.277. Flavor slots into P2 then, or literally on the brink of getting into the 1:33s. Very close to doing so in second place right now. 0.05 of a second out of 1:33 times. He is very close. He can be heard, just the F1 car engines. Yeah, that's all we need. That's good. Very good. 12 minutes to go then of this session, second round of the season, and drivers getting their laps on the board. I do want to quickly have a look at the season calendar. We do do a run of the United States coming up for the third and fourth round. It is Las Vegas for the next round, and then it is Austin, Texas for round 4, and then skip right the way forward to February the 5th for round 11. That'll be in Miami. So 3 times we go to the Americas this season, and one of them will be next week to kickstart that run off. It's 12 minutes to go. Jay Pinto heading round. He'll be going into the pit lane fairly soon. A lot of drivers have put their times on the board now. Hawkeye has invalidated this time around. The judge is on an out lap. He'll be going around for his flying lap as soon as possible. You can see him now on his way round, looking like he's going to start his lap fairly soon. P14 for him right now without a time on the board. Ran the final corner then. That's going to be invalidation, surely. No, it isn't. Never mind. Ran very wide round the final corner, got away with it. This is it then for the judge in the Mercedes car this evening. And I will get the teams up on my screen as well, so we can, we can get to grips with that for the new season. Of course, brand new teams that the drivers are racing for here at the Realistic. If you don't know, about that, of course, the Realistic tier, we do have our own teams. I know they are racing in the F1 cars, but of course, the Realistic performance, which means they are putting cars, related to their speed and ability. But let me just quickly find the driver lineup. There we go. There's Arctic Ryan and Dave the Scrub then back again for Arctic Lightning. Like I mentioned last week, Dave the Scrub does join us again today. And Arctic Ryan is here again as well. He hasn't set a time yet on an out lap right now, but the judge is out there. And the judge racing for the F1 judges this season. Down in P14, he's on a lap round now. The rear end just snapping out at him, not behaving like he wants it to as he exits this right-hander now, the long right-hander, which leads onto the back straight here in China. And the Mercedes is going to do his best now with the 40% battery left in the car. The DRS wide open down the straight. Has he got anything in him then to get himself a decent time on the board? Of course, only 15 people here today, so the chance of getting near the top of the board is a bit easier than normal, as the judge is going to try and do exactly that. Then the final corner comes up now. What can he do? The judge over the line. P14. Will he improve? He does improve to P11 then. Does the judge. Decent time. I've been told this is an esports server, says Jack. Sorry, I think they are in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, yeah, Drew. I'll help you. I'll help you about that. Don't worry about it. Westwood in the chat then joining us. Lead dog win by 20 seconds. I mean, we'll find out. We will find out. Let's have a look. What did he say? Who do you think can challenge? Ooh, I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. We will see. I mean, don't get me wrong. Papa Rim last race he did an amazing race. I don't know if he's going to be able to challenge Lead Dog today though. Maybe Lee's a bit better around the track. Coming here into China, it just depends. Some people are strong at certain tracks. Some people aren't, and we'll find out. But the rain is coming down. Rain is pouring then here in China at the end of qualifying. Lead Dog got his time in early on, and so did everybody else. But Lead Dog with an amazing banker lap, a 1:33.277 on the quickest time of the afternoon so far. Papa Rim is many tenths behind him then, 0.5 of a second behind championship rival at this moment in time of Lead Dog 187. And right now, he's the quickest man. And the rain is coming down, so I can confidently say that this is going to be pole position for you. Lead Dog then, looking like he's going to take pole here then. As rain is falling, nobody is going to be able to improve on time. Surely not in the wet weather now. As Lee in the pit lane, most likely, hanging it up for now and just leaving it. 8 minutes to go, but the rain's going to ruin it. Jay Pinto on the track then in 4th position. But like I mentioned, the rain falling down. So on these soft compound tyres, it's going to really ruin it for him. I don't think he's going to get a decent lap on the board, unfortunately. This weather ruining his qualifying session. A 1:34.1. Only needed a 1/10 of a second to get himself into 3rd place at the front of the 2nd row of the grid. True, the chat. Jack's buzzing early night if everyone retires. Guess we sit in here for 8 minutes this deck. I mean, I'm not sure. Honestly, I do think that probably the logical thing to do, surely, if it's raining, if it does get worse, is just, you know, everybody retire in the pit lane, surely, and then just get on with the race, because no one's improving now, are they? Surely not, in this wet weather. You know, the only people that, you know, it's not really going to affect is Hawkeye, because he hasn't set a time yet. So, of course, that'll be his first time of the afternoon. Every time someone says Jack, I keep thinking it's me. Fair enough, good point. Yeah, I mean, it is, to be fair. I mean, no point sitting there for 8 minutes, is there, when no one's going to make any improvements? I don't know, though. We'll see what the drivers do. Lee Dog is out on an outlap on the intermediates. He's going to give it another go. Here we go, then. We'll see what he can do. Ambolt retires from the session, then, in qualifying today. Lee Dog's going to go out there again to give it another shot. Deckers retires as well now, as the rain is coming down. Lee sliding the rears in these wet conditions, getting the tyres, you know, slightly up to temperature, but a bit harder on the intermediates, of course. Two drivers retired then. Every single driver, the V-Carb round on the track. I think that might have been Dave the Scrub, it was, who qualifies right now in 6th position. And the positions aren't changing, I don't believe. I think this is it. Dave's struggling on these softs then to get himself back into the pit lane. He'll get there soon, though. He's got 6 minutes to do it. There he goes around again. Really struggling on these softs then in these wet conditions, but he will get himself to the pit lane. Sure enough, is he going to go around again? No, he does save it. Oh, this man, proper snappy on the steering at the minute. Into the wall, his wheel's gone. Dave the Scrub into the barrier then, and that is a pure retire then from Dave the Scrub into the wall here in qualifying. And you may wonder why I'm not taking this too seriously, but in qualifying, what is what is going on, man? The racing ball of Dave the Scrub into the wall in the wet conditions. Westwood in the chat, £5 Lee gets top 5 on Inters. Well, not a lot's going to go on now, is it? Lee Dog running it wide through the first corner. This man is never improving, never ever improving on his lap. Just out there for the love of the game now. Arctic Ryan says he didn't put a setup on. Oh, that is not ideal at all. Not ideal at all. I know your pain. Me and Drew in the chat, we know your pain. With not putting your setup on, that is a big, big pain, that is. Good luck anyway. Good luck. Jack says, I wonder how many crashes there's going to be since it's raining. I don't know. It depends on if it's going to be raining the race. If there's any drivers in the chat that know if it's going to be raining in the race, let me know. Because this might not follow through to qualify. Might not follow through to the Grand Prix. We'll find out, though. I'm pretty sure it's dry, says Deck. All right, no worries. I'm really hoping it is dry, because China in the wet is going to be so boring. It really is. But no, I think the guys at PGS will make it a bit better. I really do. And hopefully we can have a nice race this evening then. We are on the second round of the season, ladies and gents. Many rounds to go. The championship, of course, is going to soon start to shape up. You're going to start to realise and find out where people are in terms of the championship today. Lee Dog getting airtime, heading down the grass section there. Even on the intermediates, and seems to be struggling. As the rain really started to fall down, didn't it, in the last few laps? And only 3 minutes to go now. I'm not entirely sure what the drivers are going to do. We've had 3 retirees from the session, 2 in the pit lane, 1 in the wall. As Arctic Ryan, without his setup, lining up 11th place on the grid. Ooh. That man has got more pace than that. Such a shame. Such a shame about the setup today. Oh my lord, man. My mic has been muted. I'm back. I do apologise. That is a bit annoying. Mic was muted. Sorry about that. Where's Jack gone, says that. Oh, that's my apologies. I didn't mean to mute my mic. I've been talking the whole time and... Yep. That's great, isn't it? Really is great. It looks like Lee Dog's having a bit of fun on the track then, ladies and gents. The rear's sliding out for him as he, you know, drifts round the corners when he can. And he did get end plate damage heading down the main straight. A few moments to go, but only seconds left of this qualifying session now. Because, yeah, in the chat, Flavor P3 is great. I completely agree. Getting himself with a 1:34.005. Decent time from XRL Flavor. Then getting himself on the second row of the grid, starting tonight's race off. We'll find out where he can put himself, you know, when the race actually begins. But he does finish third place. Jay Pinto then joining him on the second row of the grid is Papa Rim. P2 and Lee Dog will be taking pole position today then for the Chinese Grand Prix. Oh, airtime for Lee Dog down the back straight. This man going absolutely crazy. Heading around the final corners then. He'll cross the line and take pole position after setting an absolutely incredible banker lap then on his first lap around. And that is why it is so important to get a good banker lap. It is really done him well here today. As he cross the line then and secure pole position. Yep, we could have been done, Jack. I agree. It's all good, though. It is all good, though, as your results on your screen then in a few moments' time. If it loads, this might be one of the days where you don't get to see the results and we go straight into the race. I think that is what is happening, actually. Yeah, we're definitely not seeing these results. We're definitely not seeing these results. Straight into the race. Unfortunately, so no qualifying results for you, but of course you know what's just happened, and with a short break, we should be going straight into the race then. No rain as of now, but the clouds looking gloomy above the track here in China for the Chinese Grand Prix. Starting from pole position is Lee, and he is looking very strong indeed, isn't he? I think we might just know who is going to win this race today, or is he going to get competition? Will it be a bit of a different one tonight from last round? Of course, he didn't actually win that, but he was very strong. He was very, very strong. So we'll see how he can do. Do I wait 5 minutes in this, says Deck? I'm going to check. I honestly don't remember. I'm not sure about a break. A lot of them are in the community chat talking, so maybe that is, you know, where they've announced that. I'm not too sure. But, yeah, mate, I just wait until everybody else readies up. I do apologise if the stream ain't amazing tonight. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. But I'll do my best for you. Garrison's in the Jack Crossley comms chat, lurking around like he always does. It's good to see you, mate. Even if you don't type in here, it's good to get you back in here again. It's been a while. Glad to see you once more. I say it every time, Garrison, but we've got to do something together again. It's been too long. Too long. Back to the ZRL days, man. We used to commentate every Sunday religiously for weeks on end. What a time that was. Really good time that was. So unfortunately, no race intro for you guys today, like we've had on some streams. Sorry, but hopefully the racing action will be good here in China. The first corner is normally one to look out for. Of course, a bit of a different one, quite unique, and racing on it can be a bit of a pain sometimes. But we'll see how the drivers handle it. You know, hopefully everybody leaves space, and we get a decent race tonight. There we go. There is your announcement from PGS Embolc in the chat. Let's go, guys, he says. And we are getting ready to go now, ladies and gentlemen, for the PGS Esports Realistic. Finally, for the second round of the season. 15 drivers. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, getting straight on with it. 5 lights ahead of the drivers for the second round of the season here in PGS. Leadog on pole, and it's lights out, and away we go. Leadog off the line very strongly indeed, early stages. Why has that just happened? I do not know. Leadog off the line very well then on the first lap. Papa Rim through to second place, holding second place well. Flavor trying to make up the places on the outside line here. He's going to be on the inside going into the left-hander, who has the advantage now, pushes the Aston Martin wide. J Pinto trying to get through, not enough here. Nedzo Racing gets put into the barriers there at the back of the grid now, falling down the order all the way down to P12, ladies and gentlemen. On the track, through a marker board they go as well, as a Red Bull behind Embolc, I think, hitting the backside of Arctic Ryan there. Shaggy trying to make a move through past Flavor. Down to 5th position now. He was all the way up, riding the curb now, losing countless positions. Here comes Deckers on debut to make a move on XRL Flavor, if possible. The outside line was possible there, but then got closed off pretty easily. Deckers up the inside, sends that car through as it is Flavor, who just about hangs in the balance on the outside line. Behind that, into the barrier. Embolc with a huge shunt then into the wall. Whoa, big crash from the judge as well, unfortunately, and we've got a virtual safety car on the first lap of 28. Leadog still leads this race by 0.8 of a second, ladies and gentlemen. Great start from the drivers. Really, really good start from the drivers. There's Papa Rim, second place right now. J Pinto third, Shaggy 4. We're going to see position changes right now. Then Flavors down 3 into P6. We've got Nedzo Racing down 6. He's fell down quite a lot. Deckers with a drive-through penalty for speeding onto the virtual safety car as we go racing again then. Here today in PGS, in the pit lane goes Deckers to serve that drive-through penalty early on. Gets it out of the way straight away then. Back down the straight we go racing once more. Leadog still leads into turn 1. Papa Rim is going to try and do something about that. Deckers now with a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And the race goes from bad to worse for him. Now with a penalty, which is he will be absolutely livid about that one there. J Pinto currently fighting for a podium position then. He's up 1 place since lap 1 and doing a good job of holding it so far. The fastest first sector comes his way as well. So really strong racing so far from J Pinto. Trying to keep that momentum up and keep the form going too, and it could be a good race for him if it carries on like this. Luke Bailey and Dave the Scrub then come in 8 and 9. As Dave the Scrub, of course, the reigning world champion, won the world championship here in PGS many times. This season so far, just not going his way, not going the way he would like it to go. In 9th position, just can't keep up with the drivers. Trying to make a move on Luke Bailey here, but see a bit iffy on the exit there with maybe lacking a bit of confidence. I'm not entirely sure, but can he make a move through past Luke Bailey here? Getting closer and closer as Rays snap out on him as he just about catches it. Race strategies on your screen as well then. The 1 stop on the 2 stop is the hard to medium, or the soft medium. But I'm not entirely sure if the drivers are going to follow that today or not. They never normally do. As up the inside line goes Papa Rim then for the race lead, everybody. Who expected this? Papa Rim on the race leader, and he takes the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. Brilliant stuff then from Papa Rim, who won the fight of the previous round, and he's here today to try and show Lee that he can absolutely beat him, and he's doing that exact thing right now. Leadog behind him then by 0.3 of a second. Great overtake from Papa Rim, who now gets into the lead of the Grand Prix. Jay Pinto's behind that as well, putting pressure on Lee Dog. Shaggy is behind that too as they all come through and snake through the first few corners. On the exit now, who will get a better exit? Papa Rim doing an exceptional job. 0.6 of a second is the gap with a brilliant helicopter cam, then heading into the right-hander, braking hard then, getting the car turned in as Shaggy getting closer to Jay Pinto here too. Could he get himself on the podium on the third lap of 28? It's possible. We'll find out. Getting ever closer. Jay Pinto with the overspeed here then on the backside of Lee Dog. Is it enough for a move though in the coming laps? Maybe down the back straight here in China. Of course, a massive long back straight in China it is. Oh, snap of oversteer there then from Mr. Jay Pinto. But great racing so far from the drivers, heading around the final corner and back down the back straight again. The final few corners, sorry, my bad, not the final corner. The final corner coming up in a moment as Papa Rim, your race leader still. A great start to this Grand Prix so far for the PGS boys, really cleaned up at the front. Papa Rim, the story of today, absolutely pressuring Lee Dog and getting through to lead the Chinese Grand Prix with a 7/10 advantage too. I'd love to see him break the RS. Is it possible? Mbulk's round for a second time today then at the back of the grid. Back onto the circuit now then, but he has spun around again. As here he is, back on the track. Papa Rim then leads this race still as Lee Dog 2, Jay Pinto 3, Shaggy in for Flavor 5. Checking the chat, these bots in the chat, man, I know. Always joining us, always joining us. Dave the Scrub and Luke Bailey battling it out then for the better racing bull tonight. Can Dave get ahead into 8? He tries to get through. Do Lightning F1 proud? Is it enough for a move though? It is not just yet. Luke Bailey sends it out wide round the outside line. And Dave the Scrub is going to take 8th position for a few moments. Is it going to be enough to save it though? Here comes Luke Bailey fighting back. Not enough. Dave takes 8th position. A great move for him. Now he can move on and hopefully catch the guys in front. 3.6 seconds is the gap. Here we go then, lap 4 of 28. 24 laps of this race then. We head down the main straight. Will we get an overtake for the drivers? It's getting closer. Jay Pinto then for a move on the second place runner. Loads of moves going into the final few corners. Lee Dog still holding 2. Shaggy gets into P3 for a brief moment in time, but it isn't enough to hold it just yet. He heads around the final corner, trying to get ahead then of Jay Pinto. All the way round towards the line here in Shanghai. Can Shaggy get on the podium today? Round the outside line of the Aston, and he gets onto the podium places. A great move. Allows him P3 in this race, but is it enough to stay? Jay Pinto makes slight contact there on the rears of Shaggy, nearly making him lose his footing, but it wasn't enough to do anything major, and now that is a move made. Arctic Ryan, the driver that hasn't got a contact there on Flavor, the man that hasn't set a setup today. Started 6 places down in P11. Look at him now, absolutely rolling in P5. Really flying through the grid, really nice to see. Can Arctic Ryan keep this form up, keep the pace up, and possibly get himself on the podium? Only one driver with a penalty today, and that is Deckers with a 10-second. Set him massively down the grid as his brother came in the chat earlier saying that he is fuming. And you can imagine he is. It went from bad to worse, getting a drive-through penalty under VSC. Up the inside line goes Jay Pinto, not enough there. But a drive-through penalty, of course, then a 10-second time penalty in the pit lane too, as we head with the main drivers up at the front, down the back straight again. Lap 5 of 28 soon to conclude, and we have Flavor with front row views to a great battle. This is about to unfold. Arctic Ryan getting ever closer to P4. He's now going to go round the outside line. Who will break later? It's going to be the Ferrari for a moment in time there, but is that enough to claim 4th place? It is for now. Here he is, up into 4. Great move then. Makes Arctic Ryan 7 places gained. And now 1 place away from that podium position. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Here comes Shaggy on 2nd place. putting amazing pressure then on Lee Dog today. I was not expecting Lee Dog to be challenged this much. Thought he'd run away with it. And look at this. All the battling behind is helping Papa Rim run away with it. Possibly, he's going to be able to take a second race win in a row. Sorry, not Papa Rim. It was Jay Pinto who won last race, wasn't it? My bad. I'm completely forgetting that. My bad, I'm completely forgetting that. Yes, Papa Rim running away with it, ladies and gentlemen. Arctic Ryan for making up places. Jay Pinto, of course, he won the previous round, but he's running P5 today at the moment. As here come the drivers then through the middle sector at the moment. Papa Rim, your race leader by 3.3 seconds then, and really running away with this today as Lee Dog and Shaggy, you know, they're scrapping away, and it's just giving Papa Rim the upper hand here. He can run away with this, and it's going his way quite a lot at this moment in time. 22 laps of racing still to go here today in China for PGS Esports Realistic. Hopefully you're enjoying so far. Shaggy heads down the back straight again then, with Arctic Ryan behind him this time around to aim to take the podium place of P3 as he gains and gains and gains then down the back straight. The DRS slightly helping him, but is it going to be enough for a move? Nope, not enough for a move just yet. Jack says, I hate ads, but at least you get paid. Cheers, man. Whoa, what is going on with the voice cracks tonight? What is going on with the voice cracks tonight? I'm so sorry. Yeah, it does get me paid. I do apologise about the adverts, mate. It's through the first corner we go. 2.7 seconds is the gap. It has come down a bit. Westwood in the chat. Holy crap, Hawkeye from the back. Good point. He's up 7 places. Hawkeye's on a good roll as well. In 8th position, making those places up today then. Is it going to be his race though? Can he keep up? Love the voice cracks. Mate, I'm getting them all the time at the moment. I don't know what's going on. I think my voice is a bit worn out. I'm commentating all the time, and I've got a bit of a cold today as well. But Dave the Scrub trying to stay ahead of Flavor, doing a good job so far, but he's got 2.5 seconds to the rest of the pack in front of him, who are scrapping away like their life depends on it. They really are. Hawkeye then is going to go through side by side past Luke Bailey, and he does make... sorry, was that Luke Bailey past Flavor? I'm not entirely sure. One of them was through. Anyway, and that was a nice move that we did unfortunately miss. And that is your visual difference then, you know, between Papa Rim and Lee Dog. You'll see as we head down the straight then, the gap there is Papa Rim, there is Lee Dog. That is your gap then at this moment in time. Heading down the back straight now, a 3.3 second gap that Lee Dog has to close if he wants to win this Grand Prix tonight. At the moment, not going his way, as behind that is Arctic Ryan, looking for the gap up the inside line. Behind that as well goes Jay Pinto, braking quite late, pushing Arctic Ryan through the corner, who now he has to brake and loses the momentum of his car. As into the final corner, that Pro Gamer joins us. Good to see you, mate. Welcome in. Hopefully you're doing good. I'm glad to see you again. It's been such a long while. There's Jack in the chat. What server are you on? UK or somewhere else? I should be on UK, mate. Westwood in the chat. Puberty. Arctic Ryan trying to make some possible moves then through past Shaggy if possible. Shaggy getting closer to Lee Dog too, and this could be a possible move in a moment's time as Hawkeye down the grid does get through past Luke Bailey. He does get a 3-second penalty at the same time. Luke and Hawks having a great battle. We will go back on that too actually because I've seen them overtake twice and unfortunately it was missed on the stream, but hopefully we can get another go around. Maybe that's going to happen in another lap's time. We shall find out, but either way, Luke Bailey is in 8, Hawkeye is in 7, and maybe we're going to get a battle between them once again. Gaining down the back straight then hopefully will be Luke Bailey if he can, with a lot of ERS in his car as opposed to Hawkeye with only about half ERS. Luke Bailey has quite a bit then to burn down this straight. Will he use any of it to get ahead? He's using a bit of it. It is burning quite a lot and gaining quite a lot as well on Hawkeye up the inside line. A sensational pass then round the inside line, and Luke Bailey gets himself into 7. Hawkeye's going to try and fight that one back, but not enough speed coming out of the right-hander to get through and claim that position just yet. Shaggy makes an early pit stop then on lap 9 of 28 into the pit lane on the mediums and gets them changed out, I assume, to the hard compound tyres. That pro game, I lost my AirPods that cost €100. Oh, wow. Not good. AirPods are mega expensive, man. That's crazy. Lap 9 of 28 then, the race, passing by quite quickly as Papa Rim leading this race now. 3.8, 3.9. And Arctic Ryan did get into P3 as well, which was missed on the stream, but he has found the podium at 8 places up from where he started. This man said that he doesn't have a setup on today and thinks he might just retire at the start of the race. Look at him now then, in P3, with an incredible race in the early stages and getting himself up and through then onto the podium. As Westwood, Jake Fancy commentating Tuesdays. Mate, if you send me a message on Discord, I will, if you can get me some more details about it, I'll have a look. Anyone watching Armour Celeb tonight, says Jack. Of course, we are. This does finish about 15 minutes after Armour Celeb starts, though. So I will have to either rewind or just watch it from where it is. Yellow flags then round the final corner. As somebody goes round, looks like a Haas. I'm not entirely sure who that was, actually. Maybe Shaggy? Don't know. Hawkeye in the pit lane then. Hawkeye goes for a pit stop. He was going absolutely crazy with the battles then on Luke Bailey. Now he finds the pit lane on the mediums, which he's going a lap later then than Shaggy did. And now going on for the brand new mediums again. 2-stop strategy tonight then. As lap 10 of 28 now, 18 laps remaining in this race. We are ever nearing half race distance then, and the drivers keeping the battles up and keeping them going quite nicely indeed. We've got possibly a battle shaping up here then. Nedzo Racing not far away from Deckers, who has not served his penalty just yet. Still 10-second penalty, still hasn't been into the pit lane either for a proper stop. He has been in the pit lane for a drive-through, which of course has messed his race up just a little bit, but we'll find out if you can, try and claw it back just a bit. Look at that gap. Visual representation of the gap that Papa Rim has gained on the guys behind. Yellow flag in the final sector. Deckers has spun around, I believe, or something happened there. I think he did lose his rears. Deckers, unfortunately, losing the rears. As Westwood in the chat, I'm going to put my Discord name in for you, mate. That should be right. As Dave the Scrub onto the podium places. Hang about. What is going on here then? This man is absolutely flying around him. Nobody has made a pit stop. He's on the hard compound tyres as well. Oh, wow. I'm getting quite... I'm looking forward to this. I really am. Dave the Scrub then. 2.2 seconds to Lee Dog in front. He might have just found his groove. Arctic Ryan is behind. The true telling of this then is going to be, can Dave pull away from Arctic Ryan, break that DRS, and then focus on the drivers in front at hand? Dave could be on the podium today. He already is on the podium. He will need to make a pit stop, though, like the drivers around him. Whether it be the 1-stop or the 2-stop, whatever he chooses to make. The big story out of today so far, Dave the Scrub then. That man getting himself onto the podium where I really didn't think he was going to make it, unfortunately. But today, he's doing so. 3 places up since the start. He started P6 then after qualifying there on his banker lap in qualifying today. And now Arctic Ryan to try and fight Dave the Scrub back then up the inside line. Easy pass for him, and he does get into 3rd place once more. Dave the Scrub drops down. As Hick, wow, again. Here comes Dave the Scrub then on Arctic Ryan up the inside line. Great move for Dave. He's back on the podium places, fighting and back for it, and you can tell he really wants this one tonight, as he has done it again, which is really good to see for Dave the Scrub. But can he hold this one tonight is the question. You know, we did see him get overtaken a moment ago, and that back straight could be a killer for him. As lap 14 is your half race distance. 2 laps to go before we have reached that halfway point. And then we have one more half of that race to go here today. There's Lee. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Wes. 1.1 seconds. Lee has really clawed this one back. And after losing countless seconds to Papa Rim in front, he's now bringing that gap nearly below 1 second. 1.1 is the gap, ever closer around here then. Oh, this could be DRS for him. Never mind, he did miss the DRS zone, but he can get it around the next lap if he can continue on racing like this. A second then is the gap between Papa Rim and Lee Dog right now, looking like a Lee Dog pass possibly if he can get closer. Of course, the DRS will come into effect, not just now, but if he's within a second, which he is, round this final corner, he will have the DRS. Now the gap is 7/10 of a second, 6/10 of a second. The gap getting ever smaller. The DRS will be available then for Lee Dog, ladies and gents, heading down to make an overtake on Papa Rim. Not enough then down the straight, but the back straight is a possible move. And we'll find out if that is going to be the place to do it. Arctic Ryan and Dave the Scrub still fighting for that position behind. Dave has held it in third currently on lap 13 of 28. Shaggy now with a 3-second time penalty as well. Second driver with a penalty this afternoon. Deckers has been in the pit lane now on the brand new hards, and he has served that 10-second penalty. Got it out of the way. Now it's just raw race pace for him to get himself back up the order. But unfortunately, I think the race is pretty over for him now. You know, down there at the back, and massive gaps between him and the rest of the drivers. Look at that camera angle then. Absolutely brilliant. Here we go then, down the back straight again. Lap 14 will be coming around then as we cross the line in the moment, and that will be half race distance for tonight's Chinese Grand Prix. Lee Dog for the lead then, through past Papa Rim, and he has finally done it, through past the man that denied him of winning this Chinese Grand Prix here in Shanghai. And now he's back ahead into P1 just as we reach the half race point. But will he be able to maintain that, hold it on the mediums, which will drop off quicker than everybody else on the hards? He's running these mediums very late, and he's driving great on them. He really is, I've got to admit. But still staying close. Still staying very close. Oh, making contact there. Lee Dog's back end slides out. Losing time. Papa Rim could gain on him here. Sliding his rear end out on lap 14 of 28. Here he comes then to do it all again. The back straight coming up now then. Lap 14 of 28 will become lap 15 as Papa Rim, second place right now then, with a 6/10 of a second gap to the man in front. He could make a move on him down here, but is it possible to do right now? We'll find out. I don't actually know. He's getting ever closer. Could be a late lunge then. Don't see no late lunges, but he is getting very close now. Papa Rim trying to fight Lee Dog back for this position. And Papa Rim, he could really do it being ahead of Lee Dog when he has to pit, because he'll be at a bit of an advantage there. But Lee Dog does make a pit stop now. There we go then. Pit stop's coming in for the medium runner. And the last medium runner to make a pit stop today, as he goes into the pit lane to put on the brand new. We'll find out. What tyres is he going for? What strategy is this man choosing? It is the hard compound tyres then for Lee Dog. Waiting in the pit lane as well to serve a penalty possibly. Oh, never mind. My bad. The game glitching out a little bit for me. Yeah, Drew, I'll help you out when I've finished this. I'll have a look for you properly. We are lap 15 and the front few drivers have really broke away from the pack at the moment. Of course, still pit stops to come in for the men at the front then, you know, all the way down to P7 needs to go into the pit lane. Tiger B being at the back of that one and Papa Rim leading that right now. Everybody else has made a pit stop, apart from Nedzo Racing actually, who is in the middle of the pack there of drivers that have pitted. A few drivers here on 2 stops, which we'll find out, you know, when they go in the pit lane later on. There's a few on the 1 stop as well, which is possible. We did see that earlier. But we'll see. We'll see how it ends up. There's Arctic Ryan getting close to Dave. It could be a possible move here. Very close to touching him as we head round the final corner. With Papa Rim being your race leader. And this is his chance to really plant the car, because these laps are going to be the vital ones. You know, the man that he was fighting, Lee Dog, went into the pit lane. These are the laps that he needs to really pull some time out to enable him to be ahead when he pits later on. That's what he needs to be doing, and that is what he's going to be aiming to do now. In the pit lane goes Flavor and Ready Player F1. Ready Player F1 in the pit lane with Flavor. What tyres will we get? New wing for Flavor. He gets on some new mediums, and Ready Player F1 does the exact same thing. Into turn 1 we go. Jay Pinto and Nedzo Racing having a scrap then through the first few corners. Just ahead gets Jay Pinto there. Nedzo drops back on the tyres that are getting quite old now. 16 laps in. He needs to make his first pit stop still. Oh, this is getting close behind here, isn't it? Up the inside line goes Hawkeye and Shaggy. We've seen Hawkeye in some great battles today with Luke Bailey. Now he's replicating that on Shaggy. Here we go then. He is ahead, but will Shaggy fight back? We've just saw his rears slide out underneath him. I don't think he's going to have the pace here to get back ahead, unfortunately. Unless he can try and fight back down the back straight. Lee Dog gets through past Tiger B then. And he is on an absolute charge. He really is. He's going to be cutting it quite fine with Papa Rim. You know, if he's going to be ahead when when Papa Rim pits, we'll find out. But at the moment, it's not really looking like it's going to go the way of Papa Rim in the pit lane. It really isn't. As Tiger B now makes his stop on the hards. Ran them for 17 laps. Long way on them. But now his first pit stop coming in with Luke Bailey in the pit lane already. And Arctic Ryan in there too, getting on those brand new tyres. Here's Tiger B. Quick stop out of the pit lane straight away. Nedzo goes into the pit lane now for the first time as well. His new tyres will be the mediums, I'm assuming. Getting off the old new hards. The old new hards, getting off the old hards, and the new mediums go on, my bad. As the judge now makes a stop. Loads of pit stops coming in. On the 17th lap of 28. We're about at the pit window now. Then everybody making those stops, the vital stops that you need to do as the mediums go on again for the judge to make his second stop of the day. And that is his last stop then. 2 stop has been completed for the judge. It's been the hard, medium to medium, I believe. is in the pit lane then. Goes Papa Rim, the race leader. This is where we want to see which way it's going to go. Here comes Lee Dog then. Papa Rim's in the pit lane. Can Papa Rim get out anywhere near Lee Dog today, or has the overcut worked a dream? Worked a treat. We'll find out. Here we go then, down the straight. He is going to pass Papa Rim with ease. When's Papa Rim coming out of the pit lane? He's still in there getting changed. He's still getting changed. As coming out into the first corner goes Shaggy and Hawkeye. Shaggy trying to get through into second place. He's done so for now, but Hawkeye will have the inside line coming through here, which now goes round to the outside line, unfortunately, messing up his line. And Shaggy does take second place. Somebody's off the track there. It's Mbulk again. Multiple times today we've seen him go off as he gets himself back on. Wow, just wow. Lee Dog does get ahead in a 4.6 second advantage, 4.8 second advantage to Shaggy behind. And to Arctic Ryan, I mean, it's over 6 or well, I've just said it. It's over 6 or 7 seconds, everybody. It's pretty big between them. Whoa, Wolfie in the chat. It's good to see you, mate. How are you doing? Jack asks, how does the point system work on this league? If I'm correct, it's points all the way down to P20, but I might have to check that. Unless because it's realistic, it's normal points. I'm not too sure. But it's good to see you, Wolfie. Thanks for joining us again. Welcome in. Here comes XRL Flavour then, with a possible move on Ready Player F1. He's quite close behind him, and he has got a long straight coming up now. ERS to be used. He's using it to good effect at the moment. The DRS being used as well, and he might just be able to try and find a pass around the outside, braking later then into the final 2 corners. Is this going to be enough for a move then with Flavour on Ready Player F1? A way better exit around the outside, and that was an easy pass for him. Great racing there, and through goes XRL Flavour to P9 in this race today. We are 9 laps away then from the end of this race. As Lee Dog is still ahead and Shaggy's gaining. This is something we wasn't expecting. The gap has come down massively. What has happened here? What has happened here? The gap come down massively. Shaggy for a move on the race leader. Really trying to be bold here to make a move on Lee Dog. Can Shaggy get through? I was not expecting him to find this time. Making those lunges up the inside, being aggressive with it, but keeping it clean at the same time. Lee Dog really finding some competition today, and people saying that he's going to win by 20 seconds. It's not going that way exactly, is it? It really isn't. Lee Dog trying to run away with it, but these guys just pulling him back in, reeling him back into the pack. And Shaggy, with a 0.6 of a second gap, he could take P1. He could. Ember with a 3-second penalty now. Into the final corner we go. Whoa, up the inside there. Shaggy tries on Lee Dog. Sorry, it might have been Arctic Ryan on Shaggy there. I wasn't really, I didn't really see that. As around the final corner we go. Ryan with much better speed on Shaggy then. He gets into second place. He is now on a roll. And he's gaining massively on Lee Dog. Trying up the inside line. Whoa, he's getting ever closer there. Shaggy down around the outside line to try and take it back then off of Arctic Ryan for second place today. He's made good progress, but now he's being overtaken by Mbulk, who is trying to unlap himself then. Being lapped now as Arctic Ryan is on a roll. The man that is using an F125 setup, no custom setups today, driving a sensational race so far, is now gaining on the race leader and really giving him a run for his money. 8 laps to go. We're getting near the end now, and Arctic Ryan could possibly be the race winner. He's mega close. Shaggy and Hawkeye are really out of the equation because they've got time penalties. That's going to drop them down the order massively. Could really get Dave the Scrub on the podium here today. You know, we're not really expecting that, were we? Papa Rim could be on the podium too, who absolutely deserves that because he's driven a brilliant race today. But Arctic Ryan and Lee Dog are going to battle it out to the end. Who do we think is going to be the race winner today? Put your race predictions in the chat then. There's Arctic Ryan to gain on Lee Dog, round the outside line for a race move lead. Round the outside, is that going to be a place? Is he going to get ahead then, ladies and gentlemen? Lee Dog trying to take it back. Much better exit for Lee Dog coming out of the final two corners here. Round the final corner, Lee Dog does take the line. He takes that P1 back. We cross the line once again with the drivers, ladies and gentlemen. 9 places gained for Arctic Ryan. It is so impressive, it really is. There's Drew in the chat. Do I need HDMI cable for PS5 to TV? No, you won't do, because you will need 2 HDMIs, not one directly from Xbox to TV though, because you're doing that through the capture card. But I'll show you how to do that. Hawkeye in the pit lane then. Brand new softs to round off this race. 7 laps to go. Seven laps remaining then of this race this evening. The drivers giving Lee Dog a run for his money today. They really have, and especially Arctic Ryan, he's made a great comeback. 9 places up then from his qualifying time today, and now finds himself in 2nd place, right behind Lee Dog, the man that everybody was worried about being massively quick for this league. And now people are actually putting pressure on him. They really are. 0.3 of a second then. Lee Dog trying to stay ahead, using battery here to stay ahead. But Arctic Ryan with a much better speed. He really does have that closing speed then, heading into the right-hander. He brakes later. He's going to try and get the better exit here than Lee Dog. But Lee Dog once again getting a fairly decent exit, but not enough. And Arctic Ryan is your race leader here today in Shanghai. Wow, just wow. Which way is this going to go then? As moves from behind, Shaggy goes into the pit lane now. Lee Dog gets back ahead of Arctic Ryan somehow. Hawkeye or Ryan driver of the day, says Westwood. If Ryan can try and pull this off and keep this up for the whole entire of the rest of the race, I think it might be a drive. Well, actually, Ryan's had a great race anyway, but if he can keep this up, it's definitely driver of the day for him. For me. Hawkeye and Shaggy coming out of the pit lane, you know, same places. Hawkeye the man ahead, Shaggy just behind that. No places gained or lost just there though just yet. As here is your aerial view of the drivers. Lee Dog ahead, 0.4 of a second in it right now. Arctic Ryan behind that, and Mbuk just in the mix in the ghosting mode. Of course, you know, being lapped by the drivers today. Pit stops on your screen, then a lot of 1 stops at the moment. A lot of 1 stops right now. There's a few 2 stops on the grid too, and I think we might get some more 2 stops possibly in the last few laps. Arctic Ryan on the backside of Lee Dog for a move again. He's going to try it once more, round the outside line. David scored with a penalty. Arctic Ryan for the race lead today, through past Lee Dog. Can Lee Dog try and fight him back? He's got some mega pace up the inside line. Great battles from these 2 drivers. Arctic Ryan gets ahead for a brief moment. Now he'll have the inside line heading through here, but Lee Dog with a great exit once more. Can he fight him back? They're going side by side at the moment. Lee Dog is absolutely rapid on these hards. He really is. And trying to send it back up the inside of Arctic Ryan. Just wow. Here's Arctic Ryan on the backside of Lee Dog. He really will be getting aggravated here because, of course, there's Lee holding him at bay. I mean, he gets through and then he struggles and somebody goes round. It's Mbuk again. Many times this race he has spun today, unfortunately. As here we go then, once again, back down the straight with the drivers. Arctic Ryan then for a possible move. We've been waiting for this. You know, he does get ahead, but he struggles to stay through is the problem right now, because Lee Dog, you know, the grip on the tyres and just the exits and everything is perfectly placed for him. And he gets it perfect every lap. Arctic Ryan a bit further behind now, a bit wide out of the exit. Does get the DRS, but loses a lot of time now to the man in front. Will it be a move? Not enough. They'll not be inside. Lap 24 or 28, guys. Cannot believe the gap. Quarter of a second between Arctic Ryan and Lee Dog. Very close indeed then between the drivers. Just struggling to stay ahead right now, isn't he? Behind that is Dave and Papa Rim. Papa Rim without a penalty. Arctic Ryan the same, and Lee Dog. Dave has got a penalty. He's really driven well today, but that penalty's really going to screw him up. It really is. Everybody around him without one. He's going to drop down the order quite big. Or is he actually? Is he going to drop down the order? Because behind him, Luke Bailey, 3.7. He won't. Unless he's got more than 3 seconds, which I don't think he has. He only has 3 seconds. Can Arctic Ryan do it? 0.3 of a second then, down the back straight again. Not a lot of ERS to help him stay ahead, as opposed to Lee Dogs, you know, looking like about 60, 70% there. A lot of battery. As Ryan's still behind and no positions gained right now. Yellow flag final corner. Somebody had a bit of a slide, looking like Shaggy then, who had a bit of a slide at the back. As these guys still scrapping away. David Scrub with Papa Rim in front, but no move just yet. Hawkeye and Tiger B swap positions. Hawkeye into 9, Tiger B 10. As this is Tiger B's first race, I believe, tonight. After joining us in the stream chat last week, he now joins us tonight for a race, the first round for him of the season. Oh, Lido with a slide. Lido with a huge slide then, everybody, in the final few laps. Lap 25 of 28, and now Leah's really got to get himself back on the ball. Arctic Ryan very nearly caught him out there. Very, very nearly caught him out. And we're going to head down the back few corners again. The back straight where Arctic Ryan could make a possible move here on Lee Dog. Only half a second is the gap between them. He will possibly pick up the DRS again. I think he will. He was within a second there. DRS will get activated for him. You see the rear wing open now. 0.4 of a second the gap. He needs to gain. If he can possibly try and make a move here, it would be good. Running it round the outside line. No room for him again. Unfortunately, just not going his way. Lee Dog at the moment just out driving everybody that gets near him. And I think it might be a Lee Dog win. I think it might just be decided. Lee Dog made a huge mistake, but Arctic Ryan still wasn't able to get ahead. Just shows the class of that kick Sauber up at the front. Shaggy and Tiger B, they swap round. Shaggy back into 10 then with a penalty here. Tiger B into the barrier, and the wing completely gone then off of that car. Big hit. Sorry, no, but never mind. It was an end plate damage. End plate damage on the front left for Tiger B, who does continue on. Couldn't make it into the pit lane there, where we'd have to be driving backwards. Happened in the worst place ever, that did. Has to do a whole lap now on damaged wing, and that is going to make him lose even more time. Oh, move up the inside here. Nedzo racing through past Deckers. Deckers, of course, the man, unfortunately, didn't go his way today. Trying to get back through past Nedzo now up the inside line. Trying to get his car in places where it shouldn't be. Can't get ahead there, though, of Nedzo just now. He switches back underneath. The switchback of dreams, then, from Deckers today up to P12. And he makes it stick here in China. Oh, back again. Nedzo Racing doesn't want to give this one up, does he? Through past Deckers. He wants that P12. And racing like his life depends on it. Is it going to be a race move again, possibly up the inside here? Then he sees a gap, but closes quite quickly. As Decker's still through. Nedzo getting closer. Nedzo trying to get ahead, but he just cannot do it. And P12, unfortunately, is not Nedzo Racing's right now. As Hawkeye has Shaggy ahead, who was looking a bit iffy on the rears there. Heading up towards the final few corners now for the guys at the back. Hawkeye with a 3-second penalty as the guys up at the front then start the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Lee Dog ahead with a 1.7-second advantage. Not entirely sure what happened there. But either way, Arctic Ryan, second place. And even if he doesn't take that win today, he's up countless places since the start. He's had an absolutely great race today. He really has. Up many positions. Nedzo Racing and Decker's now swapping positions. Decker's dropping down to 13, but he fights him back round the outside line. P12 will be his then if he can do it. In P12 now, he does take it. Great move for him. As the front drivers then head down the back straight. As Lee Dog starts the final lap then of the Grand Prix here today. A long 27 laps, now the final one to make it 28. Lee Dog with a 1.6-second advantage to the guys behind. And that is it. That is it. I think it might just be wrapped up then. Lee Dog has driven a brilliant race, and finally the gap has just got too big to, to cut down in this small of a time now on the final lap of the race. Really isn't working out for the guys behind. But you know what? Arctic Ryan will be a happy man behind. And I think if he had his setup on today, I think he would have been a very competitive driver this evening. These guys up the front then, all going for the one-stop strategy, and clearly it's worked out brilliant. Arctic Ryan's up 9 places since the start, so he's up started in P11 all the way down where Tiger B is. That is a lot of gap to gain in this race, and fair play to Arctic Ryan, who has made it worth the while, to stay, and picking up some brilliant points then for him and the Arctic Lightning F1 team of him and Dave the Scrub. Then Dave will be picking up good points as well, but he will lose a place to Luke Bailey and claim P5 at the end of this race right now as it stands. But the man that deserves all of the credit today then, ladies and gentlemen, is Lee Dog. Can Papa Rim take P2 at the end? We'll find out, but first of all, Lee Dog is looking like he's going to take this one today. It's shaping up to be a good one. It has shaped up to be a good one. And with a 3-second advantage, his time has finally come. He crosses the line. He will win the Shanghai Grand Prix. Lee Dog wins in China. Arctic Ryan second place. Papa Rim can't get him to the line. And that is your podium today. Luke Bailey over the line in 4. Dave the Scrub finishes in 5. Jay Pinto will finish in P6 and when he gets there in a moment's time. It comes Shaggy, Flavor, Hawkeye, and Ready Player F1 then towards the line. 7 will be Shaggy. 7 Flavor because of penalties. 8 Ready Player F1, 9 Shaggy, 10 is Hawkeye, 11 will be Tiger B when he gets there. It's over the line for Tiger B. Deckers will get there soon as well, and he will take P12. Apparently Shaggy retired there. I'm not entirely sure what's happened with Shaggy. Deckers finishes 11 then. Nedzo Racing coming round for 13. As Nedzo and the judge coming around to finish off their laps now. Nedzo 12, and the judge will be P13 at the end of this race as he crosses the line here in Shanghai to finish it off. How the hell have I done that, says Arctic Ryan. Fair play, mate. Dex says not a good debut, but I think you're all good, mate. You'll you know, you'll get back up. You'll get up there. You'll get up there. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Race winner is Lee Dog. Fastest lap, Dave the Scrub. Driver of the day, Hawkeye. Most overtakes is Hawkeye. Cleanest driver is Lee Dog. Here we go then. Chinese Grand Prix finishing results. Lee Dog takes the win from Arctic Ryan, second place, and Papa Rim on the final spot of the podium in third. Arctic Ryan with a great race today, by the way. Massively gaining up the order today. It's a brilliant, brilliant run. Luke Bailey takes 4. Great race from Luke Bailey then, up in 4. Dave the Scrub 2. Very good comeback today, P5. J Pinto 6. Flavor 7. Ready Player F1 8. Hawkeye 9, Tiger B 10. Deck is 11 on debut, 12 Nedzo, and 13 The Judge. And that is it pretty much for a race, ladies and gentlemen. Tiger B in this outset. Cheers, Jack. No worries, mate. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Great race. I'm going to nip off for I'm a Celeb now, but I hope you've had a very nice evening. Thanks for joining me, and a very good night to all of you.